The Russian Sleep Experiment, Part 2. On the 9th day, one of them started screaming, not whimpering, not calling out. Screaming, the kind of sound that empties a room. He ran the length of the chamber, back and forth, screaming at the top of his lungs for 3 hours without stopping. 3 hours. Until his voice was gone, until the only sound coming from his throat was a faint, wet rasping. The researchers assumed the others would react, that they'd panic, that something would break. They didn't. The other 4 continued whispering to the microphones, as if the man tearing his voice apart in the corner of the room were simply background noise. Then the second one started screaming. The remaining 2 did something the researchers would never fully explain. They took apart the books in the chamber, methodically, calmly, and began tearing out page after page. They smeared each page with their own feces and pressed them one by one against the glass portholes until the researchers could no longer see inside. And then the screaming stopped. So did the whispering. Complete silence. For 3 days. The microphones were checked every hour. The researchers were convinced something had gone wrong with the equipment, but the oxygen readings told a different story. 5 people were still consuming air in that chamber, not at the level of people sitting still, not at the level of people sleeping, at the level of people running. Whatever was happening in that room, they couldn't see it, they couldn't hear it, but the numbers made clear that all 5 subjects were very much alive and very much active. On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers made a decision. They activated the intercom, something they had promised never to do, and transmitted a message into the chamber. "We are opening the chamber. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor, or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you immediate freedom." A long silence. Then, in a voice that was perfectly calm, terrifyingly calm, a single response came back. "We no longer want to be freed." The worst is still on the tape. Continue to Part 3.